Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Whew. Now listen, talk to you. Y'all got to forgive me how the sun is right now. It's Christmas Day. I'm up here on working out because I had that good old fried dumpling and saltfish and callaloo this morning for my mother-in-law. Now listen to me. I want to talk to you about betting on yourself. And the reason why this was inspired, I saw this guy, young white guy, talking about these stocks. And it's real big. It's a lot of stuff out there that's right now about stocks. Stocks this, stocks that. And listen, I have stocks. And I'm going to tell you. And I invest in stocks because it is a strategy that's proven over time to win if you could hold it over time. Stocks really is not set up for people who struggling financially. Stocks is not set up for lower middle class. Stocks really not set up for the middle class unless it's coming out of your check from work and you never see it. It's like going to your 401k and your 401k is invested into some things, and stocks really for the wealthy. Stocks really for people who got a little money that they basically can flush down the toilet. And what you have to realize, it can make money. It will make money. But what you got to realize, what's up, buddy? Ooh, I like that. Who is that? That's Megan Godzilla. Okay, wow. Oh, okay, I like that. Now listen, that was them little tape. Now, this the thing. What I'm telling you, this is unconventional wisdom, but I have personal experience with this. And a lot of times what happens is, stocks is like another form of gambling, except because we don't understand it. Most people don't understand it. And you take a lot of time to really learn it. And so a lot of times you following somebody else's lead and you doing what they say do. But nobody can tell you down to a science exactly what to do because it's unpredictable. Because if tomorrow a plane fly into a building, all them stocks can drop just like that, 30, 40%. And if you don't have a lot of money, you're gonna panic. Every single day, the stocks could drop. So if you put $1,000 in there today, and you look in there tomorrow, and your $1,000 is $900, and you just got in the stock market, you finna be like, whoa, hold on now. Now people say, well, the key is not to watch it, and the key is not to panic, the key is to hold. But the other key is tomorrow not promise. The other key is tomorrow not promise. The other key is you can't pass down stock. Meaning, when you pass down stock to your kids, stocks ain't creating generational wealth, because if you got a bunch of money in stocks and you die and you have that set to go to your kids, they didn't earn it. So you know what it's going to do to them? It's going to destroy them. Because they didn't earn it. It felt like winning the lottery to them. So if you take and you start a business and you pass that business down to your kids, now your kids have to earn their keep every day. So the guy who come fix my screens, my pool screen, he charged me $200 to $400 to fix a screen. He early 20s. But when he get up here on that second story, he risking his life. he gonna cherish that $200. Now, if he's just getting $200 deposited in his account every day from his daddy's stocks, he finna be getting drunk. He finna be partying. He finna be living it up. You see what I'm saying? And so you gotta understand, don't get deceived by this society of greed. Because of a lot of people teaching on stocks, they're not doing it so much that they believe in it, because most of them ain't lived long enough to really see the benefits of it. Like Warren Buffett. Most of the people teaching on stocks in their 20s and 30s. So what happened is they have benefited from some great guesses and a surge, a climb in the market, in the economy, from being propped up by Donald Trump. And so they got all of this growth. But on the other side of that come a crash. And then when you need help paying your bills, you're not going to be able to not panic if you put your money in there and it's not money you could flush down the toilet. So let me tell you what you do. When you don't have money you can flush down the toilet, when you don't have money that you could sit there and not worry about it, not look at it, and you got a date that you want to take it out, because it's a full-time job watching it, and oh it's up, oh it's down, take it out here, put it in here, take it out here, put it. That's inducing stress. That's ruining your quality of life. Playing the stock market is not a life you want to live. That's not a life of peace. That's not a life of prosperity. You're a slave. You're a slave on somebody else's ship, and you're making other people rich. See, what the stock market is really is crowdfunding for the government. Because it's like this. If all of us believe in Tesla, and we all go buy a bunch of Tesla shares, Tesla become worth a whole bunch of money. Tesla make a whole bunch of money. Tesla become very profitable. Elon Musk could sell some of his shares and make a bunch of money, because his stock can climb from 200 and something to 1,000 and something, or 2,000 and something, however high it goes. Now guess what? Based on the money that Elon Musk made from us crowdfunding his business, now he got to pay $5.7 billion in taxes to the government. So as we built his business and we got behind him, we made his company rich, we made him rich, and in turn, the government getting rich, because they getting every employee taxes. They getting the owner taxes, they getting the company taxes. Now it's gonna be stuff that could be wrote off and all of that. But this is millions of companies that's being built up by people investing in their company, and then the government get a tax on that. And then when you make money on it, you paying the government. So the company paying the government, the employees in the company paying the government, you paying capital gains taxes. So that's why the stock market was created. Ain't nobody trying to help nobody. Now, yeah, people gonna win, but it's created for the 1% to win, not the 99%. Because what they realize and understand too is when the 99% get on the stock market and you in a struggle, they know when you put $1,000 in there and you see it go to 900, you finna take your $900 out of there because you don't understand enough about it. And you ain't got the time and the patience to wait for that 900 to go back up to 1,000 and then go on to 1,100 and then go on to 1,200. 99% of people. 1% of people can hold it because they don't need the money. It's money they can flush down the toilet. They straight. They job pay enough. Their bills is paid, or their family business. They making money from their family business that was started. So I got a business partner. His family is billionaires. All of their money come from the business his grandfather started. It don't come from, and the company is employee owned. So his family can buy into the stock of the company, and then they get dividend payouts throughout the year from the stock that they own, but they own millions of shares. So it's $50 a share. They own 10 million shares. They get a dividend payout from those 10 million shares. So that fuel their life. So when they invest in stocks, they don't care what the stock doing because they got enough money to leave the money in the stocks of the other companies that they investing in. When I get on the stock market, if I put $1,000 on the stock market and I see that thing go to 800, oh no, you got to get my money back. You got to get my money back because I don't know what you're doing. So when Elon Musk got on Joe Rogan's show, hit that blunt, and them stocks, whoo, everybody cashed out. When he hit that blunt, everybody started cashing out. So now, imagine the 99% of people who just bought in the week before, and they money do like this, shoo, because of what another person did with their life. And they got to take that money out. So now what they did, they just flushed hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars down the drain. Because you could not predict that the CEO of this company gonna smoke weed on a video recorded podcast. You see what I'm saying? This is the alternative. Is you first got to learn how to bet on yourself. Before you can afford to get on somebody's stock market, you got to get on yourself. You got to bet on yourself. So what I mean by bet on yourself is you could take, let's say you're gonna put $10,000 into the stock market. With that same $10,000, you could take, and let's say you got a t-shirt business. You got a dope slogan, and it say, win the day. And you know, when people see that font and that slogan, they're gonna buy that shirt for $25. You're gonna put it in everybody's face you see. You selling it at church, you selling it at your kids' soccer games, and people buying your shirt because you standing behind it and you got it on, and they can't look you in your face and say no. 100 shirts cost you $600 or less. When you sell 100 shirts for $25, you just made $2,500. To turn $600 into $2,500 on the stock market, that take a while. That it might take you years unless we having a lucky run up. But if we having a lucky run up, when we run up, if you've been told to hold it and you're not finna try to play the stock market, it's gonna run up and then it's gonna go back down. And then it's gonna run up again. But the thing with the stock market is when you get 65 and you got $1 million in there and you ready to take your money out, that $1 million could go to 600,000 because the market crashed. And if you're just an everyday person who don't study stocks and you don't really know much about it, ain't nothing you could do. So now you need this money to lose, but the market just crashed, like 2008. And so now they say, oh, it's gonna go back up, but it might take another 10 years for your 600,000 to get back up to $1 million. But now you old and decrepit. But guess what? If you bet on you, see, you got to bet on you first. So I took $30,000 and I started a company. That company now pays me $15,000 a month. So $30,000 and it's making $15,000 a month. And the reason how it's doing that is because I took the time to build a brand. That didn't cost me money, it cost me time. Now see, so I ain't lose no money. I gave my time by getting online and making creative, engaging, consistent, and contentful posts online, on Twitter. I didn't spend a dime to build my Twitter following. I didn't spend a dime to build my Facebook page. I didn't spend a dime to build my Instagram. I didn't spend a dime to build my YouTube. So because I gave it time and I learned how to build on that, I'm investing in me. So now, and now listen, I have stock. But what I'm telling you, this is for the people who gambling with stock, who getting into stock, not knowing what you're doing when you got natural gifts that you could be earning from right here today. Instead of investing in other people's company and hoping that their company grows and does good, but not investing in you. Because see, you can't pass somebody else's company down to your kids, but you can pass your company down to your kids. You see what I'm saying? You don't get to pick the CEO for the companies you investing in on the stock market. But you get to be the CEO of your own company, and you get to train your sons and daughters how to be the CEO of the company. Or train them how to be a CEO of their own company if they don't want to carry your company on. You see what I'm telling you? So now listen. So you always gonna be your best investment because you got the control. And you should be your first investment. Pay yourself first. Invest in yourself first. So what you do is, you find something. Don't chase trends. Don't chase trends. Because trends change. What you want to do is look within. And you got to find something that has intrinsic value. Something that means something to you. So, and then you invest in that. So, let me tell you what I did. I said, I know how to write. I know how to tell a story and make a point. So at 22 years old, my wife gave me $1,600. Instead of putting $1,600 into the stock market, I invested the $1,600 into publishing my book. Now, I got a royalty check a few months later. It was only $300. But $1,600 on the stock market is not going to pay you $300 in dividends in 2 months. It's not going to do it. Anybody could tell you that. So, and it's not going to pay, them $1,600 is not going to pay you $300 in dividends, which is basically $100 a month every 3 months. And it's nothing you can do with that $1,600 being on the stock market. It's nothing you can do to make it grow. It all depends on the companies you just put your $1,600 in. But here's what I did. I took $1,600 and I invested in publishing a book. But then I started building my brand for free using Twitter in 2009. I wrote the book in 2007. In 2007, I had MySpace and I had Facebook. So what I did on there is, on MySpace, I added 400 friends a day. It took time. On Facebook, I added 100 to 200 until they threatened to shut my account down for adding too many people. So I'm adding these people, and all of these people, 600 people a day, they seeing my book cover because that was my icon. That was my picture. Then I spent $120 for 2,500 business cards. I would go to the mall and I would walk through the mall handing out my business card, which was a promotion of my book. And then I started posting a quote every day on Facebook. And then I pitched myself to Oprah, to Tyra, and to CNN every single day. So now, come 2009, I get on Oprah. She don't mention my book. I make no money. I get on Tower. They mention my book. The internet publisher I went through said I sold 70 books in that quarter. I get a check for $320. Then I get on Twitter right after going on Oprah, and that's March of 2009. At around, I started with 34 followers. I posted quotes every day. I feel like I was around 225 followers. Mentioned, my accent throw it off sometimes. I mentioned Alicia Keys in a tweet. Alicia Keys started following me. About a few weeks later, she retweeted me. When she started following me, I started getting hundreds of followers a day. Because when she joined Twitter, Twitter was promoting her because at that time she was an 8-time Grammy award-winning artist. I was the last person she followed that made her follow count 99 or 100 people that she was following. So when somebody clicked on following to see who Alicia was following, my picture was at the top. Who she followed first was at the bottom. So I was benefiting from being at the top. And because I had got myself on Oprah to tell my story, when people clicked to see who is Tony Gaskins, they saw a picture of me and Oprah. So that gave me instant credibility. All of this was free. It cost me nothing but just me pitching myself. It cost me time. It cost me 5 minutes a day to write an email in through Oprah website. So now, in 2010, I go up into the thousands of followers. Somewhere around 25,000. I say, I want to do an online course. At that time, so you pay attention to the current things that's happening in the world. At that time, Ray J had a show called For the Love of Ray J. I did not like the concept of women competing for the love of what I would call a grown boy. So I created a course called For the Love of Me, meaning loving yourself. And I made it 12 weeks long. And so I paid $100 to my web designer to create a page on my website with the graphics For the Love of Me, 12-week course, $75, or 3 payments of $25, PayPal buttons for the $75 or the 3 payments of $25, and then the 12-week outline. With my following on Twitter, I was able to post the link to the course and people went and signed up. To my memory, I had 125 people sign up. Some of those people did the payment plan and they defaulted. But to my memory, I made over $9,000 free. I did it through conference call, freeconferencecall.com. It was free. And it was 12 hours. So now you got 12 hours of work from me. I talked for 30 minutes and then I opened the line for Q&A for 30 minutes. So, and this is 2010, I was 26 years old. I was working a job making $20,000 a year. So I did that for free. It cost me no money. This is what I mean by betting on yourself, investing your time into yourself. You cannot put $0 into the stock market and get $9,000 back. You cannot go look at the stock market and post content in the stock market. You could post content on YouTube. You could post content on Instagram. You could post content on TikTok. You could post content on Twitter. You could post content on LinkedIn. You could post content on Snapchat. You can post content on Facebook. They are a business. When you give them content, they're going to give you a following. Because when you give them time, they reward you by putting you in the algorithm. It's a no-fail game. Nobody dedicates time to social media and gets nothing in return. Because their business is set up to reward the people who give them time. And when they give you time, now you get followers, they call it. Not all online followers are supporters. That's the difference, and you got to understand that. Majority, 99% of them will be spectators. Not 99%. 90%, no. About 70% will be spectators. 29% will be haters. And less than 1% will be supporters. So the goal is to figure out the algorithm, to figure out the posting schedule, to figure out what content does well so that your 1% grows. So that your 1% can support your business that you created, that you have control over, because it depends on your work ethic. It's not based on the market. It's based on your quality, your content, and your work ethic. So here's what happened. 12 hours, almost $10,000 was made. That's almost $1,000 an hour. My job was paying me $9.50 an hour. I'm on the phone, I'm serving my purpose. So then, because I'm giving time online, people want to talk to me one-on-one. I was charging $25 to $55 an hour for a one-on-one consultation. Depending on the industry you're in, you can charge even more. But I was 26 years old, I didn't want to try to break nobody's bank. So now, here go time turning into $10,000 over the course of 2 months. My pay was $1,200 to $1,800 a month, depending on how many paychecks in the month. So this is the thing. You cannot get that type of return from the stock market if you're in the lower middle class. Because if you're in lower middle class, you don't have enough legal money to invest into the stock market. Nor do you have the time to wait for $1,000 to become $10,000. But that $1,000 into your t-shirt business is going to yield results. $1,000 into your catering business. $1,000 into your coaching business. Because the results depend on your work. You are your own stock market first. So before you start investing in cryptocurrency and stocks, you need to invest in you. And when you invest in you, then you're going to get what I call toilet money. When you get toilet money, then you can invest that money into the stock market. Now, and what I mean by that is, this is money that you are actively looking at, that you are going into your stock account, your brokerage account like SoFi, Webull, Robinhood, M1 Finance, and you are clicking buy X amount of stock for X amount of dollars. You seeing that money. I'm not talking about the $30 a paycheck that go to your 401k that you really don't see, you really don't feel. I ain't talking about that. So understand that. Y'all hold on right quick. Let me cut my light on. Listen to me now. So now listen to me. So now you got toilet money. So now this money that can go to the stock market and you could just leave it. And you're gonna take it out at a certain age. Don't get caught up with this society, because we live in a microwave society. So in a microwave society, we got a lot of greedy young people who they want to teach you to try to play the market. It takes so much time. It takes a lot of luck. It's gonna steal the joy from your life. I was talking to my mentee and he does day trading. He say, man, it takes a lot of time. I gotta be very focused. I gotta sit and pay attention. That's not a healthy life to me. Now he young enough, he probably could waste a year or two doing that if he want to. Tomorrow, I promise. I wouldn't do it. What I would do is invest in me. Because, so what he does fitness. If he take and dump all his money into his marketing, boosting his ads, boosting his videos, ads, ADS, not a cuss word. Creating flyers, create a fitness t-shirt line, create a certain dumbbell, waist trainer, a fat burning cream, create something and sell that to his thousands of followers online that he built by posting every day. Now you're gonna see a return on investment instantly, an instant return on investment. But with day trading, he told me he followed somebody else who taught him how to day trade. And then he followed another guy. One guy lost him, he started with like $20,000. The guy lost him $15,000. He went to another guy, because when you don't know about it, you're not an expert in it, you gotta listen to somebody else. But nobody knows about it because this stuff is unpredictable. And so, I look at charts and I study the charts. That's their gift. That ain't your gift. So they could study the chart, try to explain it to you, but your comprehension is limited. So when you try to do what they do, you end up losing. So listen, now I've told y'all about buying stocks before, and I said, I just bought this stock, Palantir, I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't even know how to pronounce it. I see it was going to be an IPO. I got it for $8. In a month, it was worth $19. So I had to made $1,400 based on what I put in there. Can't remember what I started with. I made $1,400 in a month. Okay, I got lucky. I caught it on the climb. It was a lucky thing. I have not been able to do that with any other company. And this me being transparent with you. But guess what? With me giving time to building my following, when you go to my courses, so this is what I said. I said, okay, I'm building a following. I write books. I'm selling the books to my audience. I want to take my knowledge and I want to turn it into a course. So I want to build an online academy, TonyGaskinsAcademy.com. The first one I built it myself instead of using somebody else's software. I borrowed $14,000. In the first month, my courses earned $30,000. You will most likely never put $14,000 on the stock market and make $30,000, which really I made $16,000 in 30 days. It will take an extreme act of luck for you to put $14,000 into the stock market and in 30 days have $16,000 in profit that you could take off the market. It has happened, probably depending on the amount of money somebody put in an IPO, and then they rolled it up for 30 days and then cashed out. But that's not going to happen all the time. It's not going to be often, and a lot of times you're going to get burnt. Because on these sites, when you go to buy a stock, you say, oh, I want this stock. And yeah, they got all these pulls and options and all this right here that they get into. But again, they done studied it forever. They trying to teach you through YouTube. You don't know what they talking about. So what you finna do is lose your money. So I done tried to time that stuff. I done tried to buy it like that. And it looked like a stock finna come out and IPO at this price. But by the time SoFi or Webull or whatever get you your shares, now you done got the shares at $75 because everybody bought in and you thought you was finna get it at $40. And then in a few days, it go from $75 down to $40. So now your $1,000 then almost turned to $600. And you like, oh my goodness, I just flushed $400 down the toilet. And I didn't have toilet money. But $1,000 into you, it builds on itself. So it cost me, the last course I did, I think it cost me $350 to create. Because the videographer charged me, I think, $80 an hour, and it took me 2.5 hours to record it. And then he charged me an hour or so, $50 an hour for an hour or two to edit it. So I think my invoice I paid was $355 for that course. The course is $25. The last time I checked, 125 or 27 people had bought the course. And so now that's 2,500. 25 times 100 people is 2,500. So it cost me $355. Because I done put in the time to build a following, when I share that, and see, when I'm sharing it, I'm not sharing it with 3.5 million people. When you look at my social media following, and you see, oh, and all my following is real. I never bought fake followers. It probably bots in there, but bots, that just do it on their own. I never paid for no bot. This is God, heaven, truth. For myself, I done paid $200 one time for my mentee who was a boxer years ago. This like 2010, 2011. And he was signed to Golden Boy Promotions. And he said, Tony, I need followers to get fights. And he didn't have any followers. And I paid this guy I know $200 who get fake followers. So he got 10,000 fake followers. But then the followers start falling off because it's just bots. It's like dead accounts and stuff. And they get weeded out. So I never did that for myself. There's another big speaker I know that did that. He bought 50,000. And then one time they had an account of 2 million accounts that they had control over that they could use. They could make them 2 million accounts. They could make a portion of them go like a post. Go follow an account. And I remember they told me, Tony, we got access to 2 million accounts. If you want us to build your following or whatever, let us know. No, bro, I want it out the mud. So I ain't do it. He built his fake, and then he had to build it real. And it just was a bad look. So anyway, what I was saying, what was I saying? Y'all gotta forgive me now, because y'all know I just be flowing on this stuff. Oh, when I post that course, you would think, oh, Tony got 3.5 million followers. Remember, how you got 3.5 million followers and only 125 people buy the course in the first few days? Because I'm not using it, I'm not posting to the 3.5 million, I'm posting to a mailing list. On the mailing list, it's 30,000 people. But when you send an email, if you blessed and fortunate, 20% gonna open it. So that means 6,000 people open it. Out of the 6,000 people that open it, 1% might buy. So now 1% of 6,000 is 60 people. So I had 120 something people buy the course in the first week. So now in the first week, a $355 investment turned into over $2,500 because I'm not counting the other 25 or so people. And so then I sent another email. Hey, we got some spots left because I want to get it to 200 people. We got some spots left, so more people buy it, but I haven't gone back to check to see how many more people bought it. So now when I hit 200, now 200 times $20 is $4,000. But I'm leaving off the other $5. $5 times 200 is another $1,000. So that's $5,000. So 200 people times $25 is $5,000. Forgive me if my math wrong now, but that's around there. So $355 in 30 days turned into $5,000. This investing in me. There's no stock market in the world that you could put $355 onto the market. And see, this is the thing. I've been doing what I've been doing online for 12 years. Y'all got to forgive my math. Since 2009. So 2019 will be 10 years, 21, 12 years. Now listen, you could have $10,000 on the stock market for 12 years. At $10,000 in 12 years, it will be, let's say you earn, let's say it grow $1,000 a year. That $10,000 could be $20,000. Doubled your money over 12 years. And that's if the market performing great. It's performing great without a crash. Now around 8 to 10 years, the market always crash. Between anywhere 8 to 15 years, you're going to experience some type of correction. Now that correction might break you, and it may take a while for it to recorrect. So now, even though you've been on the stock market for 10 years, that don't mean, 12 years, that don't mean when you put in $355, that your $355 that you added to your $20,000 is gonna yield you a profit of $4,700 in 30 days. That ain't gonna work like that. That $355 in 30 days might earn you 35 cents. Might earn you $3.50, you lucky. $35, you lucky. That's what that $355 gonna earn you in 30 days, based on them stocks you buying. So listen to me. The stock market is a long-term play. You got to have money to lose. You cannot be stressed and struggling about your bills. And you need to have already built your career, and you got toilet money, or you done built your brand or your business. What we need to be focusing on right now first is betting on ourselves. And what I mean by betting on yourself is start your company. Because I receive compound interest in my following every single year. So it builds on each other. When I got on Twitter, which is what I consider social media, I don't really count my Facebook days because I got on there as just like a student adding college friends and other people. I don't count that. When I got on social media as a professional, it was really 2009. So in 12 years, I've gained 3.5 million followers across all my social media. Now, the thing with that is, that's compound interest. Every year, I'm getting more and more supporters online. Some of the networks, now the networks pay for having those supporters. Now Facebook pay, YouTube pay, Instagram pay. So them three that pay me. TikTok pays now too. I don't know if LinkedIn paying yet. I don't know if Twitter paying yet. I believe they probably do too if you got a lot of people watching your videos and they put an ad on it. So now these networks, that's free. The only investment is providing content. Now you got money coming in. Now you investing in you. Now you betting on you. So now with $10,000 that you done saved up, if you put the $10,000 on the stock market, for it to double, on average, it might take it 10 years. If you lucky, it could double, but in a month, in 6 months, if you catch a stock that's riding up, you ride it up. But that's all, it's luck. It's timing, but it's lucky timing. And you depending on somebody else. And they're gonna ride up and they're gonna come back down. But now look, with $10,000, you could take a lash extension class for $1,500. You could get a studio office through Regis.com or a local office building. For example, my sister's office costs $375 a month. So if she did lash class or braiding class or eyebrow class for $1,500, which is about the average price of what these trainings are costing. If she did one of them classes for $1,500 and she got an office for $400 a month, in 30 days, that's $1,900. If every day she posted on her Facebook to her 2,000 friends that's in her city or local area, if she went to the mall with a business card, if she wore a t-shirt with her website every single day, if she spent $10 a day to boost the flyer that she posts on Facebook, that's $300. So in that 1 month, $1,500 for the class, $400 for the office, $300 for the boost. So now she done spent $2,200. Because she passionate about beauty and self-love for women, and because it's always gonna be in style. It's not a trend, because that's something that's been around since the beginning of time. Women just did it differently. Makeup probably came from clay or some type of leaf. Lipstick made from some type of oil or some type of something. Beauty for women has always been a thing. Enhancing the skin, the body, the face, what have you. Like when they elongate the neck with them rings, when they put all the earrings and jewels, nose, eyebrow, ears, rings on the finger. Beauty always a thing for women. So $2,200 in 30 days. To apply lashes professionally, it's gonna cost $200. All she got to get is 11 women to break even. Guess what? My wife paid $250 to get her lashes put on. That was a 50% discount. It actually cost $500 for the lady she go to. My wife was told about this lady from her friend. So the friend went $250. My wife went $250. My wife sent the pastor wife, our former assistant, my sister, another lady. My wife sent 4 more people. All of them told somebody. So now just word of mouth. This one lashes, this eyebrow, forgive me, this eyebrows, microblade on eyebrows, $250. So now this lady, she booked out. It's one lady, she work in a studio office. That's probably $400 a month like my sister's, like my sister's office for her group home that she run. And she doing appointments every day, 6 days a week, $500 a pop. So that office at the most costing her $1,000. That class probably cost her $1,500, at the most $5,000. But even if it costs $5,000, you under that $10,000 that most of the YouTube stock investors telling you to get on the market with $10,000. The ones that say, oh, get on there with what you can. If you got $100, you can start with $1. Click the link in my description for Webull. You're gonna get 2 free stocks. They telling you that because when you click that link, they get paid for you signing up on Webull. They know good and well your $100 ain't finna do nothing on no stock market. Not a thing. And they know good and well your $10,000 could very well get lost. They know that too. But when you take $10,000 and you invest in your God-given gifts, it's gonna be a return on the investment. You cannot lose because you're gonna win, like the quote say, you're gonna win or you're gonna learn. I'm the one made that go viral because I had a quote out that said, and this one my Twitter was viral. I had a quote out there, and I seen the quote one day, and it say, "It's not a loss if you learn from it." And I posted it, and my tweets used to get thousands of retweets. And I think Charlemagne the God retweeted it, and Lil Duval, the comedian, retweeted it. So then the quote pages, they changed it. You either win or you learn. It went viral. And so, and that was a quote that I got off a quote out. Can't remember who wrote it. And so listen to me. So now, and this is what I have learned. This is what I have learned. After my academy that I spent a total of $18,000, I borrowed $14,000, spent $4,000 on the credit card. In the first month, it made $30,000. And every month after that I promoted, it crashed the second month. So then I went to a software. The software cost me $99 a month. I continue to build my following. The courses earned at that time, I started in, I think, 2017. It was earning $5,000 a month. It's costing $99 a month and earning $5,000 a month because I had an audience online that I would market to. Then I would get them off a line and they on a mailing list. So then I could promote the courses to the mailing list. So I had really nobody, not a lot of people, but I built it from scratch, the mailing list. 1,400 people, 2,500 people, 5,000 people, 10,000 people. You send a thing to 10,000 people, 1,000 to 2,000 of them read it. 1% buy. It's not getting rich overnight. The stock market ain't getting rich overnight. But the one thing about investing in yourself is you got to control. Because you can control your work ethic. You can control how much time you put in. You can control your branding. You can control your messaging. You can control everything that you can control. When you invest $10,000 into Tesla, you can't tell Elon Musk what to tweet and what not to tweet. So if he sent a stupid tweet and you just put $10,000 in today, before you done put $10,000 in you, and he sent a stupid tweet and his stocks dropped 20%, your $10,000 has now turned into $8,000 in 24 hours. But to invest in yourself wisely, that you could stretch that $10,000. So the first online course I did was free because I used freeconferencecall.com. No, it cost me $100 because I paid the web guy $100 to build a page. I paid no money in marketing and ads. I just posted it to the following that I built. You see what I'm saying? Anybody and everybody could get a following because, and this is the truth, because when you look at YouTube, 99% of successful YouTubers were not celebrities when they started YouTube. Celebrities really don't do YouTube. Celebrities really don't have YouTube. Everybody who get on YouTube, 99% of them had no following outside of YouTube. YouTube built them because they posted every day. Now, when I got serious on YouTube, it was 2019. I started my page in 2011. I posted some videos like one a month. YouTube was paying me $200 a month, and I wasn't even posting. It was from old videos that just was sitting there. And I didn't even post on YouTube for years. I just would post once a month, twice a month. Sometimes I feel good, post 3 times a month. Now I post regularly because now I see that content is king or queen, whichever one you want to call it. And so now when I'm posting, now YouTube's spreading it, and in 1 year, YouTube took me from 56,000 subscribers to over 300,000. So in like a year, 2 years, no, all of 2020, then all of 2021, so it's been about 2 years. Mine don't grow as fast as other people because I'm talking opinion-based stuff, self-development. If I was teaching on credit cards, stock market, investing money, it'll grow fast. It'll grow a lot faster because everybody want money and everybody operate from a place of greed. But nobody want to hear a country black man tell you advice on life. Nobody want to hear that. So it's not going to grow that fast. But even at where it's at, I don't lead with money. I don't talk about money in the sense of telling you how much I'm making on YouTube. I put that in my YouTube course because I don't want to tell somebody, oh, YouTube paid me this, so go buy my course. No, don't buy the course unless you want to be on YouTube. Don't buy the course unless you got something to do on YouTube. Don't buy the course because you can't chase trends. You can't chase what is doing good for somebody else. Remember what I told you. You got to look within, and what you create has to have intrinsic value. It got to be something that you want to do and that you are passionate about. And so when you do that, now you're getting compound interest in your stock market because you're building on yourself every single year. So you don't have to go smoke weed on a podcast like Elon Musk did because you get to choose your actions. So because I'm faithful to my wife and because I speak on relationships, guess what? My stock going up. My stock price going up. You get what I'm saying? I am a company, and because I'm not cheating on my wife, my stock going up. So when I started coaching, my price was $25 an hour. That was 2007. Really ain't getting no real clients till 2009. The lowest I charged 25, and the max I used to charge is like 55, and I would fluctuate. 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. If ain't nobody booking sessions, go back down to 25. I used to fluctuate. So, and I was working a job until 2011. So from 2007, when I wrote my book, I ain't get off my job till 2011. I started that job in 2006. So I was on that job almost 5 years. I was on the job 4 years and 10 months. My last day was March 13th, 2011. I started my second company, my second LLC, March 8th, that's my birthday, 2011. And so now listen, I was $25 an hour. Now I charge $400 an hour for a regular session. The reason why I could charge $400 an hour, I call this my stock, is because I've been consistent, I've been diligent, I've kept my name clean, and I've built my brand. So the price goes up when your demand goes up. So if I'm $25 an hour, 1,000 people will book me in a month. So that would be $25,000, but it would take me, I only right now can afford 2 hours a week for one-on-one coaching. So 1,000 hours will take me 500 weeks. It's 52 weeks in a year. I coach 2 hours a week, one-on-one, for $400. So now, and the reason why I do that is because I done built other businesses. And because I'm spending my time in other areas. And because coaching so long, it drains you. And so, okay, my hour up on here. So now listen. So now my stock done went up from $25 a share to $400 a share. And now I have what you call a VIP session. That's double the regular price. VIP session means instead of you waiting a month, because even at $400 an hour, it keep me booked out a month or 2 months because I'm only doing 2 hours a week. So instead of you waiting a month, if you want to get in within 48 hours because you got a pressing business decision or relationship decision or whatever you trust me on, it's $750 an hour. And so essentially what this is I'm just a consultant. And it's just the people who value my advice or my input that will make that investment. We cannot really put a price on our time because time is not redeemable. When you're on your deathbed, you can't get that time back. So that's why it's up to you to charge. Now the industry says, in the coaching industry, the consulting industry, they say take your yearly income, divide it by 52 weeks, that's how much you make a week. Take that number, divide it by 40 hours, because that's the traditional work week. And then that number is what you make per hour. Take that number and multiply it by 3, and that's what you're supposed to charge for a one-on-one consultation, because you only working with one person for a whole hour. Whereas this hour I just gave to YouTube, at least 1,000 people is gonna see this video. So I could reach 1,000 people with 1 hour of work, or I could talk to one person. So that's why you have to charge a price for your time when you're doing a one-on-one. And anybody who hate on that, they just a hater. They don't value your life if they think you're supposed to be on the phone with one person for free and you're not going to get that time back, and you taking that time from your dreams, from your business, from your kids, from your spouse, from yourself. Anybody who don't understand people charging for their time, it's a hater. It's somebody who have not found a purpose, who have not found something worth charging for their time for, and they just misunderstood. And that's why I always tell people, don't come on YouTube hating on people who's selling a book, who's selling a course, who's selling one-on-one sessions. Because I see people build a brand. I'm just making videos. I don't do one-on-one sessions. I don't sell courses. I don't have a book to sell you. I'm just giving you honest information just from the heart. And a year later, they got a book, they got a course, and they doing one-on-ones. They got a mastermind group because they realize it's business. And you could do business and be honest. Not everybody who got a course is a fake guru. Not everybody who got a course is a charlatan. A course is a legitimate business model. That's what college is. You paying hundreds of dollars per credit hour for a course so that you could, a lot of the knowledge you don't use. Some of it you use. Some of it you could go get a job, but a lot of times people hate their job. But they spent thousands of dollars for a college degree and they get a job that they hate, and then they end up going and being an entrepreneur working for themselves and not even using what they learned in college. So I learned, don't hate on something that I don't understand, and never try to speak on where somebody at until I got their vantage point and I'm walking in their shoes. Then I can understand if they was real or if they was fake. So listen to me what I'm trying to tell you. So here you have this, when you invest in you and you consistent and you diligent, your stock going up. The same way the company, if you invest into a company 12 years ago, if the company did what they were supposed to do, provided good product or good services, had great CEOs, then their stock has gone up. Some of those companies, their stock has gone up 1,000%, some 2,000%, some 100%, 200%, but it has gone up. The blue chip companies, you've seen Amazon go from $200 a share to $3,000 a share. That's a huge run up. It took some time, but they did the right thing. They built a good model. If the founder of it take and do something crazy, them stocks gonna drop. If you just bought in at $3,000, he do something crazy today, tomorrow your $3,000 is gonna be $1,500. The time it takes for it to come back up to $3,000 for you to break back even could be a year. If you invest in you first, guess what? You could put your content or your service in the face of as many people as you want to, walking through your city, downtown, at the mall, boosting posts online, and you getting immediate return. I started a t-shirt company. That's why it was a real example. I did 100 shirts, cost me $600. I bought 200 shirts. It cost me $1,200. I posted the shirts, all 200 sold for $20 in 2 hours. So $1,200 turned into $4,600, including all the shipping and everything fees. After all that come out, it probably was around $4,000 after the shipping fees and stuff. Around $4,000. $1,200 turned into $4,000 in 2 hours because I had taken the time to build a brand. So I had compound interest. I did not lose following. I gained following over the years. So now when I release, 1,200 can become 4,000 in 2 hours. Whereas on the stock market, it don't matter how much money you got on the stock market. It don't matter how long you've been on the stock market. When you put 1,200, it's not going to turn into 4,000 in 2 hours because you've been on the market for 12 years. But if you've been building your brand for 12 years, you come to a place that when you invest in yourself each year, the return gets greater if you have been doing what you're supposed to be doing. So now, somebody who's 50 and 60, they can invest $1,000 like me, like Steve Harvey. He got a brand. People love his voice. If he go to my video guy and shoot a 2-hour course, and my video guy charged him $355 like he charged me, if Steve Harvey released a course for $25, how many people in 1 week do you think gonna buy Steve Harvey course? Steve Harvey at his brand size could sell 10,000 courses. 10,000 people could sign up for his course. That's $25. 10,000 times $25. Do the math now. What is that? $250,000 in 1 week because he got time. He done built the brand. People like his name. Not everybody like him, but a lot of people like him. You see what I'm saying? So this is what you got to understand. So I'm explaining this to you to say, and don't let nobody take me out of context. I don't have nothing against the stock market. What I have against it is that it's being taught like it's a get rich scheme. And people saying, oh, this what I did, this what I did, this what I did. But they're not factoring in the luck. They're not factoring in they got in just at a good time. They're not factoring in the president that was in office that was focused on money and building money because he come into office as a billionaire. And so he propped the market up. He ran the numbers up. They're not focusing on that.
Because now the president, I pay $4 a gallon for gas right now. So the money I'm making, I filled up my Escalade because I wrote it down to E. When I filled up that Escalade, it cost me $110 for a tank of gas. A tank of gas with my kids' school, with where they live at, a tank of gas lasts us 2 days between school and practice. So every 2 days, that means I'm spending $300 a week in gas on one vehicle. 300 times 4 is $1,200 a month running a family on one vehicle because of the gas prices right now. So guess what? If you get on the stock market and you got an Escalade, can you profit $1,200 a month investing in other people's businesses with the amount of money that you can afford to put on there? $1,000, $300, $400 a month. No, that's $400 a month that you can afford to put on stock market is not going to make you $1,200 a month. Now, you might not have an Escalade. Even if you're in a Toyota, let's say it costs you $50. If you can afford to put $1,000 on the market, that $1,000 is not going to bring you $200 if your car costs you $50 a week for gas. So $50 a week for gas, that's $200 to $250 a month. Your $1,000 that you can afford to put on the stock market is not going to yield $250 a month. That return would be insane if you put $1,000 and can make $250. But see, when you bet in yourself, and that's what people don't understand. My partner a billionaire because his granddaddy betted on himself. Now my partner is living off of his granddaddy bet because he got stocks in his granddaddy company. And he get dividends from the stocks that he owned in his granddaddy company. So see, listen, generational wealth, you got to bet on you first. Bet on you. Y'all got to forgive me going down the stairs with no light. I'm tumbled down here now. Oh, Lord. You got to bet on you. So guess what? Now, because I bet on me, I'm able to take 4 blue chip stocks and put $100 into each blue chip stock every week, which is dollar cost averaging. So I'm investing $400 a week into 4 blue chip stocks. And I'm gonna leave that investment until I'm 65 years old. And whatever it turn into, I know it will have earned something, even if it crashed when I turn 64. I know it will have earned something. But before I invested in me, I could never afford to give $400 a week to other people companies, to 4 other people companies. I had to give that $400 a week to my company and use my grind and my work ethic off of my $400. And the $400 wasn't cash, it was $400 worth of time. And when my time was worth $9.50 an hour, when my job was paying me $9.50 an hour, I was putting in 30 to 40 hours, sometimes 70 hours a week, studying, learning, pitching myself, writing books, coming up with stuff. So I was giving that $400 a week in time to my company. Then that yielded a return. So let me tell you. So the courses I was telling you about, because I gave time building my following, the courses now could generate $30,000 to $50,000 a month after building it from 2017. So now we're in 2021, and now I invest in more courses. So I got over 20 courses, and they all real courses. They not scam courses. I don't have a single course teaching you how to invest in stocks, teaching you no type of money courses, no type of fulfilled by Amazon courses. No, the courses is purpose-based courses on Tony Gasson's Academy. When you go on there, you'll see. So it got courses that's going to better your life in life, love, and business. So it got a Real Love University course. It got a When to Let Go course. It got a Understanding Men course. It got a Raising Boys, because I got 2 sons. My course is based on what I have lived. It got Entrepreneurship with Purpose course, because my business is purpose-based, meaning I'm teaching and writing about and coaching about self-development. I'm not selling tea that you could digest and it got marijuana in it and you test positive for marijuana and you lose your job. Like the women who bought the tea from TLC, the raspberry lemonade tea, and they tested positive for THC. I'm not selling something that's digestible that I don't know what's in it. What I'm selling is something that is gonna feed your mind, that what you do with it is up to you. And I'm not overselling and under-delivering. That's why I don't promote my courses on every video, because I want to give content without selling. When I sell, it's for a sale that I'm running or for a purpose. You see what I mean? So I'm building a business on integrity and not on greed. So that's why I don't lean on a fancy car, or I don't do a house tour. You don't find a house tour on my page. So I'm not selling with a lifestyle. I'm selling saying this is the course. If you want the course, and so guess what? The system says I have over 36,000 students. When I log into my payment processor, my refund rate is less than 1%. It's like 0.001% refunds. The reason why is because I don't sell with a lifestyle and I don't oversell and underdeliver. I undersell and over-deliver. A lady wrote me a long message last night thanking me for my life coach certification and how much info it was and how she felt so blessed because someone who has a brand my size gave away that much information for the price that I gave it away. That's what I want to hear. That's why I do it. So this is what I want you to understand. What I have learned, and just like people telling you to invest in the stock market, I have to be honest and I got to tell you my perspective. I invest in the stock market, but I did it when I can afford to lose the money because I'm investing in somebody else's company that I don't have a say-so in the CEO that they choose. I don't have a say. I cannot control what the CEO of that company does. I cannot predict the future of that company. That company could go out of business in 1 year after it IPOs. I cannot control that. But what I can control is what I do online, what I say, what I do in my life, how much I work, how much time I put in, and how much I'm willing to sacrifice and give into my brand and my business. So that's why I believe that you will always be your best investment. So the course software, I created a course called Online Courses 101. The course software that I use costs me $99 a month. Now, on the online course, on how to create an online course, for the people in the course, I show you screen record video of what I earn from my courses. I don't talk about that publicly because I don't want to share my business with spectators and with haters. I just share stuff with people who invest in themselves and people who really into my business and brand. I don't lead with money and say, hey, I made this amount of money, you can make that too, because that's not true. Because if I outwork you, you're not going to make what I make if I outwork you. So I'm not going to tell you I made this amount of money, you can make this amount of money too. Because if you don't have my mindset, if you don't have a God-given gift that I got, you're not going to make what I make. Now, you can make more than me or you can make less than me. But it's a lot of factors that go into that I cannot control. So I can't promise you a certain return. So I don't use my returns as an example for you to buy the course. Now, what I'm sharing with you is an example on what it earns. So now I started this software. I started using this software in 2017. It's 2021. Now them courses with me selling it, if I mention it on a YouTube video once or twice a month, and if I send an email, if I send maybe 4 emails a month, then them courses may make a minimum of $30,000 in a month. The system costs $99. There's no stock in the world that you could pay $99, that you could put $99 in a month and make $30,000. It ain't a stock in the world, regardless of how many years you have held that stock. Now, if you got $3 million $30 million, if you got $30 million, your dividend might be $30,000 a month. If you got $30 million, when you going to have $30 million? When you going to have $3 million in the stock market? Most people won't have that in 2 lifetimes. But see, and this ain't just me. This ain't just me. Look at the young lady who did the color palette, Super Scent. And she made $1 million in 30 minutes because she invested in herself. She built the following online. You see what I'm saying? Look at the lady who got the Miracle Drops. Judy, showing 7 figures from selling the hair growth. I saw another young lady who sells stuff for your locks, oil for your locks, $1 million. Another young lady, something else she sells, $400,000 in 30. See, I believe that your best investment is going to be in you. And then once you invest in you and you start making money off of you out of your profit, then you invest in the stock market. Because see, let me tell you what, a lot of people who teaching you to invest in stocks, they making so much money on the stock market because they able to put tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands into the stock market because they telling you to invest in the stock market. And YouTube is boosting their videos, so they making $300,000 a month from YouTube. So they can afford to play on the stock market. If you make $3,000 a month, you can't afford to play on the stock market. You can afford $30. If you make $3,000 a month, you can afford $30 a month on the stock market. $30 a month, and at the max, if you living on a strict Dave Ramsey type budget, you can afford $300 a month if you make $3,000 a month. And that ain't gonna get you rich overnight now. That's gonna take some time. That's $3,600 a year, and that's not even maxing out what you can put into a Roth IRA in a year. You still coming up short of what you can max out at in your Roth IRA at $36,000 of income a year, which is what school teachers make. And some school teachers make less than that. I know some school teachers who make $22,000 in the state of Florida. So listen to me. But it's school teachers, and this is an example. It's school teachers who make $30,000 a year. Like, for example, the school teacher who started, I think she was a school teacher, and she started her online course, Budgetnista. Tiffany the Budgetnista. Do you know that young lady went to making $1 million a month teaching people how to budget? She invested in herself. There is no teacher salary in the world that you could take what you can afford and put into cryptocurrency or into stocks and make $1 million a month. But she invested in herself and teaching people how to budget. Everybody can learn how to budget on their own the way she did. But a lot of people would rather spend $30, $40, $100, a few $100s to learn from somebody else's blueprint. And so that's how she made her money. You see what I'm saying? I did the same thing. I taught my knowledge in books, in courses, and then in 2019 on YouTube, when I started being regular on YouTube, 3 videos a week or more. And that yielded a return. Selling t-shirts, doing courses, selling books, doing live speaking engagements, doing group coaching, doing a mastermind, monetizing me, investing in me. I started a restaurant. The restaurant costed me $10,000 a month. To start. The rent was $700 a month. The lights and water and gas was $750 a month. It cost $1,500 a month. If I bought $300 worth of food, the restaurant was making $1,200 a day. So it was profiting $900 a day. But that wasn't all profit because I had 3 staff in there. They was paying themselves $10 an hour. So that's $30 an hour. and they work for 10 hours. That's $300 a day. So the profit is $600 that's left over, and that's before paying taxes. So then after you pay taxes, you might pay out of that 600, if you pay 15%, let's say 15% business taxes, then you coming home 60 plus 30, $90, $510 a day. So $510 a day is the business profit. It was open I think $6 6 days a week. So 500 times 6, that's $3,000 a week. It was $3,000 a week profit. That's $12,000 a month that the restaurant made profit. My family took the rest of the money because I didn't run it, and they spent that $3,000 a month. It went out of business in 12 months. That's a true story. But guess what? It was a walk-up window. If you are a cook and you could cook that fire, it took me first and last month's rent to get into the building. And so that was $1,400. $700 to get the lights and water and all that cut on. So $2,000. You could start a walk-up window restaurant out of your tax return, and you could bet on yourself. Now, if you need 12 months to bet on yourself, what that means is you need to be putting up money every single month, maybe for a few years, and be putting up money so that if your food not selling like crack out that window, you got a savings that you pulling from. Or you may have a credit card that you pulling from. Again, this is a bet. But it's no different than betting on the stock market. Because when you bet on the stock market, you have no control on what the stock market gonna do. Because when somebody study the stock market, they study a chart. That chart is not based on days unless they day trading. And on day trading, it might be based on the hour. That chart based on 10-year performance. So that's what I mean. So when you bet on you, you might be betting on yourself 12 months. And so when I left my job, I told my investor, who gave me $35,000, because his family is billionaires. This is my friend that I'm telling you about. He gave me $35,000. I say I need 12 months off my job, and they pay me $20,000 a month. I say if I can give the 40 hours that I've been giving to my job, if I can give my business, if I can give my Twitter account, my Facebook account, 40 hours a week, my books, 40 hours a week, I would never have to work for somebody again. That was 2011. Guess what? The next year, when I counted my income, I had earned $147,000. This is a real story. $147,000. The next year, I earned $253,000. The next year, I earned, I can't remember, it was 300 and something or 400 and something. And like 2 years in a row, I earned 450 something thousand, then 480 something thousand. And this was me betting on me, exhausting all of my gifts. Writing books, author consulting, ghostwriting, speaking engagements, one-on-one coaching. All of my gifts is what was, and book sales, book royalties. So the book made me $300 a month. That's when I first published it in 2007. But in 2015, my book started earning me $5,000 to $10,000 a month because my Facebook went viral and was reaching 20 million people a week. So people was Googling my name. I was not promoting the books. All I was doing was providing content, meaning I was posting quotes and I was posting videos that was feeding people life. Facebook was pushing it because they need content for their website. So what happened is I was reaching 20 million people a week with 500,000 followers on Facebook. 500,000 followers was turning into 20 million impressions a week. That turned into residual income from my books that I had written of 5,000. The average was like 6,000 a month in 2013, 2014. And then in 2015, I was able to do a business deal for my second company, to where I did a business deal in the amount of 1.1 million with an investor, because I had shown a track record of growth from 2011. So I'm sharing this with you. So that you understand the power of betting on you. The power of betting on you. And so do not get caught up in people selling you dreams and riches in cryptocurrency and in the stock market. Although it can make money. I bought a whole Bitcoin for $18,500 in December of 2020. I sold that Bitcoin for $57,000, I think in May of 2021. The one Bitcoin. I had bought more than that, but I sold one. I sold one Bitcoin. So yes, I made money in cryptocurrency. But guess what? After I sold at $57, that one Bitcoin dropped to under $30,000, or to about $30,000. I stopped looking at it. So now I bought at 18.5. So even at 30, yeah, I still would have had double, not double, but I still would have made some money. But still, imagine if I bought at 57,000 because everybody was talking about Bitcoin to the moon, Bitcoin to the moon, Bitcoin to the moon. And I bought at 57,000. Imagine the people who bought at 57,000 when I sold at 57,000, and they took that money out their life savings. That's what they had in their life savings, because people on YouTube was telling them Bitcoin to the moon, Bitcoin to the moon. And then they $57,000 went to $30,000. And guess what? If they only had $70,000 or $50,000 or $60,000, guess what they're gonna do? That type of person cannot afford to lose $27,000. So when they Lord, forgive me for laughing. Forgive me for laughing. I ain't laughing at nobody now. But I'm just thinking, because there's a lot of greedy people. Lord, forgive me for laughing. I'm not laughing at people now. because see, people greedy. Because I had a whole... Lord, forgive me for laughing. But I had a homeboy. Lord, forgive me. He's so greedy. He greedy. So when everybody was talking about Bitcoin, Lord, forgive me for laughing. Because he was greedy. So he bought it in. And when he bought it in, Bitcoin. Lord, forgive me for laughing. Lord, forgive me for laughing. Listen, I'm not laughing at nobody. I'm not laughing. I'm laughing at greed. I'm not laughing. Again, it's greed. It's American greed. So people buying in at 57, but the people who had been in since 18,000 like me, I got in when Bitcoin was 3,000. I got in at 3,000. But I gave the coin to my partner. My partner kept the coin. Bitcoin, when Bitcoin became worth $60,000, he had the $3,000 coin I gave him. I gave him the coin because I didn't believe in it, because I didn't know what it was. I just heard somebody mention it and I bought it. And I'm like, man, this mess ain't real. This mess ain't finna do nothing. I sent it to him as a joke. He bought another coin and a half. So when Bitcoin hit 60,000, he had $150,000 off of a $7,500 investment. He sold one of his coins. Then he sold one and he kept one and a half. But again, that's my partner. He a billionaire. So he can afford to play. When it go up and down, he don't got to sweat because he got enough money. He could just let it sit there and wait on it to get to 100,000 or 500,000, like they say it'll be worth one day. And so listen to me. Imagine the people who listen to these people online and they bought in at $57,000. And that thing in like a month, that thing was at $30,000. Them people lost $27,000. Now, unless they bought that $57,000 coin out of $570,000, I guarantee you they sold. And now they had just given $27,000 to cryptocurrency. They had just flushed $27,000 because 99% of people do not have what it takes to hold when they see something crash. 99% of people. And that is who these people on social media is talking to. They're not talking to the 1% because the 1% earners in America are not listening to talking heads on YouTube. I guarantee you. The people listening to these young boys telling people to buy cryptocurrency and telling people how to invest in stocks, these people is not even 40 years old, so they ain't even lived long enough to reap the benefits or to see the long-term performance of stocks, because they ain't even been in the market 10 years. So they really don't know what it feels like when you cross 10 years in the market. 99% of the people talking online, but YouTube is paying them $50,000 to $500,000 a month to give you investment advice and say, I'm not a financial investor or financial advisor, as a disclaimer, so that when you take and dump your 401k into these stocks and you lose all your money and you ready to blow your brains out, when you could have took that money and invested into your t-shirt business, you could have invested into your restaurant, you could have invested into your coaching business, you could have invested into your shoe store, you could have invested into your air conditioning company, your screen repair company. Look at these screens. When I call the screen companies, these screen companies are booked out 3 months. When I call the Christmas light company, they booked out 2 months. This man came and put Christmas lights around the edge of my house and wrapped around the trunk of one tree and charged me $1,700. It took that man 2 hours. And then he left my house and went to another house and he booked out 2 weeks. $1,700. That's what a trade is paying. He invested in him. It ain't a stock on this planet that you can invest $125 to start an LLC, $120 to get 500 business cards. That's all he had to do to start his business. Pass out 500 business cards. Get 5 people to book you out of 500 to hang up their Christmas lights and make $10,000 off of 5 people. You cannot put $225 into the stock market and make $10,000. And that's what this Christmas light man doing. That's what the screen repair is doing. That's what the AC man is doing. Now some of these people, you got to go to school for a year, whatever, for the AC and all of that. My barber, he cutting 10 heads a day to 20 heads a day. He charged $30 a cut. That's $300 a day. He had to go to school for 1 year. You're not finna study the stock market for 1 year and make $300 a day. That's his trade. And make $300 a day. It's $300 a day. Pay taxes, $45. 15%. Give or take. $45, coming home, $200 some a day, cut 6 days a week, $1,200 a week. $1,200 a week, $4,800 a month. $4,800 a month that he could make month after month after month after month after month, and some months gonna be more, some months could be less, but he ain't got to worry about losing because he's providing a service that every man need and that we always gonna need as long as we growing hair. But guess what? Now he can afford his toilet money. Let's say that's $40 a week. Now he could put $40 a week into the stock market, and when it crash, because it's $40 a week, he don't have to panic. And at 65, he can take his money off the market, or he can start cashing out monthly and living off of it and letting the rest grow after he take out his monthly expenses that cost him a couple grand a month to live. You see what I'm saying? So I had to share this because stocks is something that can be beneficial long term. Sometimes you can win short term, but that's going to be luck. It's going to be a stroke of luck. And it's just only going to happen in certain seasons and certain things that's going on in the world. Y'all got to forgive me if you can't hear me come a waterfall on. I'm a pool. And so, listen, the first investment you need to make, though, is in yourself. Invest in your natural gift. Invest in your purpose. Invest in your passion, whatever you want to call it. Invest in that first, then invest in stocks at your profit. But do not get greedy because you see people showing you accounts where they turned $500 into $100,000, so they say, in 12 months. Because that was a very fortunate year of 2020 for the stock market. Because that was a very fortunate year. And I see somebody who said that they started with $500 and they turned it into $100,000, and they showing you how to do it. But guess what? What goes up must come down, especially when you don't have control over it. The one thing you got control over is your work ethic. So I hate to hound this, and I know people gonna have all this stock advice and all this investment advice, but people tell you from their experience on the stock market. I'm telling you from my experience on investing in me, on betting in me. Now I'm on the stock market too, and I done made money on the stock market. I done made money on cryptocurrency, but I did it out of toilet money, meaning money that I could have flushed down the toilet. I didn't do it out of my necessity money, the money I need for bills. And that's what a lot of people doing. They taking their life savings. They taking their money for bills. They taking food off their table and betting on a stock and then losing their money and going into depression. And that is what these people doing online. And then you will see these people who got all this money to play on stock, and then they'll come on here and they'll have a thumbnail with their mouth open, with their hand on their face. I lost 30%. But they lost 30% of $5 million that they got on the market. But imagine the person who took their last $1,000, took their $1,000 safety net savings and put it on the market and then lost 30%. And now they done seen $1,000 turn into $700. If all they had was $1,000, they is losing their mind, because that's $300. It costs $125 to start an LLC. $300 at the max if you use LegalZoom.com. They could have started an LLC, marketed themselves for free with daily tweets or Instagram posts or TikTok videos or reels on Instagram, and turned that $300 LLC that they started selling their service, turned that $300 into $30,000 in a year. But at $300, they flushed down the toilet because somebody on YouTube told them to take and invest in this stock, and that person ain't have a clue what that stock was finna do next week. You see what I'm saying? And I'm tired of seeing people getting taken advantage of. So, hey, this Tony Gaston. God bless you. I got to go because it's dinner time. And so my oxtail and my dumpling ready. So that's why I had to do all that walking, because I'm going to go eat oxtail. Man. So, yeah, I want to hear your mouth on them oxtail. God bless you.